Hello, my name is Luke Dreiling, and today I'm presenting an English subject and object pronouns lesson that is geared towards fifth graders at an intermediate proficiency level of English. The context for this lesson is an international private school with a high ESL population. The time I've allocated for this lesson is 15 minutes, and the materials that will be needed is an apple, a few different colored markers, whiteboard, the model that is provided in this PowerPoint, 2 poster boards, and the worksheet and some envelopes. The objective for this lesson is that students will be able to identify and choose the correct subject and object pronouns in a sentence. This is meaningful and purposeful because identifying and using the correct subject and object pronoun in a sentence are very important for accurately communicating thoughts and developing native-like fluency. The anticipatory set for this lesson is that this teacher will begin by holding up an apple and asking who the teacher should give the apple to. The students will most likely say, "Give it to me, give it to her, give it to us." The teacher will then write down 2 different answers on the board. The teacher can circle all the pronouns in their answers and point out that each sentence is totally different when the pronouns change. For example, give it to him and give it to her and give it to me are completely different meanings because of the object pronoun that is used. The teacher should emphasize that using correct pronouns are important. The teacher should quickly review the information regarding subject and object pronouns. They should already understand that a pronoun replaces a noun. In 5th grade, this should be review. If not, then the teacher should give an example such as Hannah talks with Jake. Then the nouns Hannah and Jake turn into him and she. She talks with him. This can lead to the question, why do we use the pronoun him instead of he? Today we will discuss the difference between a subject and an object. For example, him is the object of a sentence, whereas he is the subject of a sentence. Student can read the following portion from the textbook as a class to do a think, pair, share. Ask the students to find one difference between the subject and the object pronouns and share with their elbow buddy. Then choose 3 students to share their ideas with the class. The following excerpt is what the school workbook provides to give information on the difference between a subject and object pronoun. To help with the instruction, the teacher can create 2 separate anchor charts based on the words identified in the anticipatory set. Create one anchor chart for subject pronouns using green marker and another anchor chart for object pronouns using red marker. The anchor chart should have either the title subject pronoun or object pronouns in the center of the chart with various examples surrounding the title. Allow the students to discuss which pronouns go under specific categories. Then project the following chart onto the board to help the students complete the anchor charts. During the guided practice, the teacher should write 6 possible combinations of object and subject pronouns on the board, as shown below on this slide. The student should try to identify the subject and the object with the subject circled in green and the object circled in red to keep consistency in the lesson. Once the subject and objects are identified, the teacher will choose students to act out each of the sentences that are written on the board. After each demonstration, the class will collectively identify who was acting out the subject and who is acting out the object of each sentence. The teacher can use this time to clear up any misconceptions about pronouns. To help check for understanding, you can ask yourself, do the students model the sentences correctly? Correct the common mistakes as a class. Do the students communicate correctly and understand that the language that was used? For example, maybe the student used him instead of her, or used the object pronoun in place of the subject pronoun. For the independent practice activity, the teacher will be turning their ordinary bookwork into a much more interactive, meaningful, and kinesthetic task that produces and provides a platform for the students to teach their peers and as well interact authentically with the material. The teacher will cut out 3 activities on page 61 and 62 of the workbook. The 3 activities are shown in the slides. Each envelope will be put in, each activity will be cut out and put into an envelope. There will be 3 activities in each envelope. Each student will choose one activity to complete, whereas they will be in groups of 3. Once everyone in the group is complete, the student will share their answers with the group and explain the answers that they choose. This is activity 1. This is activity 2. This is activity 3. Now, for students that are able to complete the activities quickly and correctly, then the teacher may provide them with this following website that further breaks down the understanding of the subject and object pronoun. The teacher can provide immediate feedback by the student posting their answers on Google Classroom. The closure will be that students will turn in the activity they individually completed and write one difference between the object and subject pronouns on the back of the activity piece of paper that they personally completed. This will be the exit ticket from the class for the teacher to assess their learning. The teacher will also assess learning and check it for understanding by walking around and answering questions during the independent activity and challenging students with following up questions to evaluate their own thinking and understanding on the topic. Thank you.